it's Michelle Lupton today, and I've got a really quick video to show you today using these two products. I'm using this small stencil called 5 Stripes from Darkroom Door, and I'm pairing it up with a large stamp set from Simon Says Stamp, which is called Friendly Flowers. So I'm going to be using them together. So I'm started by spraying my stencil with some pixie spray, and I'm just laying it down straight onto my card front. I'm just trying to line it up nice and straight here and not doing a very good job. And I'm going to turn it over and remove it and try and get it even straighter. So the pixie spray just helps to keep it in place and not budge while I'm inking over it. But I'm actually going to be adding some more masking. So I'm going to be using some Distress Oxide ink. You can see there I've got Saltwater Taffy and Scattered Straw. So the pink and the sort of pale yellow colour. And what I'm planning on doing is doing an ombre between those colours on each of those rectangles on the die, but alternate the direction that they go. So for the top one, the middle one, and the bottom one, and these are the ones that I'm inking up now, I'm starting with the Saltwater Taffy on the left-hand side and fading to the Scattered Straw on the right-hand side. And I'm using my Hero Arts blending brushes here. And I'm just going to switch out to the Scattered Straw right now. You can see I'm using my ink stand to keep my ink pad in place so it doesn't sort of run all over my work surface while I'm picking up the colour with my blending brush. And you can see I am overlapping the two colours just a tiny bit in the middle, not very much, because I really didn't want to get a kind of bright orange in the middle. I didn't want it to be obviously orange in the middle. I just wanted to fade from pink to yellow. So I tried not to overlap too much. All right, so I've just moved my masking tape here, and I'm doing the alternating rectangles here, starting with the Scattered Straw on the left and fading to the Saltwater Taffy on the right. So with this card, I really set out to do an one layer card, and I haven't really done a heap of one layer cards recently, and I quite enjoy doing really simple, clean and simple one layer cards. So especially after I've made lots and lots of cards with lots of layers and lots of techniques and lots of colouring and all sorts of things like that, I try to sort of get back to the basics and try and just make simple cards, not boring cards, elegant cards, but one layer cards just make me happy. All right, so now I'm removing all of my masking and removing the stencil, and you can see that looks quite effective, having the colours going in opposite directions, alternating there. Okay, so now I'm pulling out my Simon Says Stamp stamp set. As I said before, it's a Friendly Flowers stamp set. This is one that sadly I've neglected a little bit. I remember buying it and thinking, oh, I'm going to use this so much. And I haven't used it nearly as much as I should have. It's sort of on a different side of my craft room to where my desk is. So it kind of gets a little bit forgotten. So I'm trying to reorganize my craft room a little bit so that things that are on the other side get closer to me on the desk here, so that I get to use them a little bit more. So hopefully you'll see a few stamp sets that I've used in times gone by and haven't really used them much in recent times. Okay, so I'm stamping this in Altenew Obsidian ink, and the reason I'm using that ink is because it's a pigment ink, and because I've already done some ink blending with Distress Oxide inks, which have a pigment component to them. Sometimes if you use a dye-based or even sometimes a hybrid ink on top of pigment ink, it doesn't take as well. You can see a significant difference between the ink on the just white cardstock and the ink on top of the other ink. So using a black pigment ink on top of the Oxide ink, means that you get a much more even stamping. All right, so I chose this little Sending Smiles stamp as my sentiment, and that's it for today. That is my card all done. I decided not even to add any sequins or embellishments, so that's all. So I hope you enjoyed this very short little video, and I hope to see you back again next time. Bye!